Welcome to ABC Interactive English. Hello everyone, I'm Karen.
And I'm Mike, and here we are with part B. That's our second day with our dialogues all about asking for and giving directions, getting help when you're lost, and giving help to a person who is lost. Now, yesterday we had Tasha. She was, I think, maybe on her first day at a new high school or a new university. Big school building. She didn't really know it very well, so she got a bit of help finding a teacher's office or a teacher's room. Now, the good thing is that for Tasha, she'll go to that school probably every day. This year, maybe next year, she will learn her way around, even if it's a big school. Now, sometimes, and we'll look at this tomorrow, you can get lost in a big city, and then you might really need help. But then again, that's not so bad, and we often have Google Maps. Now, the ones that confuse me are those really big buildings, like a school, or bigger, that we only go to once in a while. Places like hospitals, places like big shopping malls, and places like that.
Or Taipei main station.
Train stations.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, that's another good one. And in our dialogue today, airport. So you get lost. Which one do you get lost? Is it Taipei main station, the big train station here?
Yes, it's actually very confusing. I mean, because it is so big and it has so many different systems. Like we have the HSI, we have the MRT, and we have the regular train.
That's right. And they're also always attaching it to other things, right? There's the bus station over there.
And the Q square on the other side.
That's right. Another train station for the airport down this hallway. It's all underground. You start to go, wait, did we go up or down? Where am I? Is it Wednesday? Have I been in here for 2 days? I just want to go home. And the thing is, you don't go there very often.
That's right.
If you don't work there or go there on the weekends, maybe once a year you go there, you're rushing to get to your train or your bus or whatever, you feel nervous and it can get really easy to start to turn your head around and make you feel lost. So let's find out how to ask for and give directions in a big place like that, in this case, in an airport.
Brandon is getting help from an airport worker.
Sorry to bother you. I'm a little lost. Can you help me?
What do you need?
I'm looking for gate 21, but I don't see it on any of the signs.
That's because gate 21 isn't in this terminal. It's in Terminal C.
So we're looking at the dialogue today, and it's still about asking for and giving directions. And today we're looking at part B, and like you said, we are asking and giving directions in an airport. And you know, airports are usually very big, right?
That's
so sometimes
right.
you get lost.
Exactly. And sometimes they have really 2 or 3 really big buildings. Terminal 1, Terminal 2, Terminal 3. I don't know where I'm going. So yes, if you get lost, of course, you can probably find a map of the airport on the wall somewhere, but it would also be good to ask directions. So let's see what's going on here. Brandon is getting help from an airport worker. All right, so Brandon is probably traveling at some time, and the airport worker, who knows the airport much better, will hopefully be able to give him some help. But first, Brandon has to ask for directions. So he begins the dialogue by saying, "Sorry to bother you." This is a good way of saying, "Excuse me," or something like that. "Sorry to bother you. I'm a little lost." Okay, that's his problem. He's a little lost. Can you help me? Now, you don't have to say a little lost. You could say I'm lost. You could say I'm very lost if you've been trying to find your way for 30 minutes and are still lost. But basically, he's saying I'm lost and I need a little bit of help. When you're lost, this adjective just means you don't really know where you are. All right, now you say, oh, I know I'm on the planet Earth. I know I'm in Taiwan or something like that. But if you don't exactly know where you are, if you've been trying to find a new place and you've gotten yourself a little turned around, or you're like, did I go that way? Am I supposed to go there? Then you're kind of lost, all right? That just means you're not very confident of exactly where you are in this place.
And it's very important to know where you are, especially when you're at an airport, because I'm guessing that he'll be maybe taking the plane.
Right.
He has to know where he's going. So now the worker says, what do you need? Okay, so I guess the worker also wants to try to help. They said, okay, so what kind of question do you have, or where are you going? And he says, what do you need?
Yeah, there are many places in this airport that Brandon could be trying to get to, so the worker needs a bit more information so that he can help, or he or she can help. And so Brandon explains what he needs. He explains his problem. He says, I'm looking for gate 21, but I don't see it on any of the signs. All right, so again, not a difficult thing. Gate 21 is one of many places with numbers like this in the airport, and it's also, because it's the gate, it's the place Brandon will be going to get onto his plane. Of course, airports can be big. Many airplanes can be using it at the same time. So to keep things organized, each airplane has its own gate, kind of like a door or a place for the passengers to get on the plane and get off the plane. If you've ever gone to an airport and traveled by plane, you know that after you get your ticket, it will have your gate number. That's where you go to find your plane, going to the place you want to go to, and then on the plane you will have a seat number. But in order to get your seat, you have to find the plane, and the plane will be parked at this gate, all right? So a gate could be just sort of an opening or an entrance through a fence or a wall, but at an airport, when we say gate, that is the door, that is the place, all the people will gather, and then when the plane's ready, you'll get onto your plane at that gate.
Yes, and then usually these the signs are quite clear because they want the passengers to find their gates easily. Even if you don't understand the language, at least you recognize the numbers, right? So it's important to pay attention to the signs in the airport. But what's a sign? So that's a noun. Basically, it just means a printed direction, a notice. Sometimes it could be like a warning put on a surface or in an upright support. So for example, you could say, I always obey stop signs. So when you're driving your car on the street, you can often see, the stop signs or different types of signs that would tell you different information.
Exactly right. And that's a very good tip. If you find that you are lost, first thing you should do is look around for the signs, right? Because they often have the important information. All right, so can the worker help Brandon find gate 21?
I don't know. Well, now the worker says that's because gate 21 isn't in this terminal. It's in terminal C. That is why Brandon can't find it.
He's in the wrong terminal. That's basically the wrong building at the airport. So this isn't something he'll solve by walking for a few minutes and turning left. He'll probably have to find a train or a shuttle bus or walk along a very long tunnel from one big building to another building. A terminal, it's kind of like a station. Often when we talk about a terminal on a train network or an MRT, that might be the last station in the line. The trains stop in the terminal and then they turn around and they go back in a few minutes. At an airport, though, they often organize this big airport with many airplanes by different terminals, whole buildings for different planes. When we talk about a terminal at an airport, usually there's one for the local planes that fly in the country, and then another terminal for the bigger planes that fly farther away to other countries. I think at Taoyuan Airport here near Taipei, there are 2 terminals.
2, that's right.
And I think they're building a 3rd one too.
Are they?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And if you want to get from one terminal to another, there's kind of like an MRT. There's a train that you ride on. So Brandon really is a bit lost. He's going to have to get on that train or find his way to the right terminal before he can find the right gate. I hope he does it. Let's take a break and we'll be back.
What's the fastest way there? I don't want to miss my flight.
Go straight that way to the big round space.
The one with a little garden in the middle?
Right. Then stay to your right. You'll see a sign for Terminal C.
Welcome back, everyone. So before the break, we were looking at this dialogue between Brandon and the worker at an airport because Brandon is trying to find his gate. I think it was gate 21. But then he said, I couldn't find any signs. And then the worker said, oops. Well, your gate is actually not in this terminal. It's in Terminal C. Whoopsie.
Yeah, so not only is he lost, he's in the wrong building at the airport, and this could be a problem because his plane could be leaving soon. And it seems, though, Brandon understands this is a problem and he doesn't have a lot of time. So his next question is, what's the fastest way there? What's the fastest way to get from here, this terminal, to the other terminal that I want to be in? He doesn't want to waste time, as he says, I don't want to miss my flight. Maybe he only has 10 or 20 minutes to get to his gate, and if it's in another terminal, that could take more time.
That's true, and you definitely don't want to miss your flight. But what is a flight? That's a noun. A flight basically just means a trip on a plane from one place to another. So for example, you could say he missed his flight because he was late. And if you miss your flight, that means the plane has already taken off. And then you are still at the airport.
Exactly right. You could say I missed my plane or I missed my flight. It's the same as saying I missed my bus or I missed my train or something like that. And yeah, you don't want to do that. So how does he get to that terminal? Quickly, quickly.
So now the worker says, okay, now go straight that way to the big round space. That way.
That way, the big round. I'm already getting panicked for Brandon. So he knows at least the right way to go. Go that way, and we can imagine the worker is pointing with their arm or their hand, and they tell Brandon to go to the big round space just to make sure that there are no mistakes here. Brandon says, the one with a little garden in the middle. Okay, because in many airports they have sort of beautiful decorations, maybe even trees or plants and gardens inside the airport terminal because it's such a big building. A garden is, just a place that is made by people, and it's a place you will have beautiful plants and probably flowers. So we're growing lovely green things in our garden. Many gardens will have pretty things like flowers, or you could have useful things in your garden like vegetables. You could grow beans or tomatoes or carrots in your garden, and you also might grow flowers and things like that. Now, we're not talking about a farm. We're talking about a smaller area that you use, that you plant things in just for your own enjoyment, for your own fun, because it's a nice hobby, often in front of or behind a home, or maybe a nice area with plants inside a park or something like that. It's beautiful, it's organized, it's got pretty things in it, it's a nice garden.
That's right. So Brandon was asking, okay, so that's the one with the garden in the middle, right?
Look for the garden.
Okay, so now the worker says, right. Then stay to your right. You'll see a sign for Terminal C. Okay, simple enough, okay?
Yeah, all right.
Stay to your right, and then you should be able to find a sign. If you find a sign, you just follow it. You will be able to find Terminal C.
Okay, and remember that's a big round garden, so as Brandon comes to it, he could go this way or he could go that way. When we say stay to your right, we mean keep on the right-hand side of the garden. Where it splits, don't go the left way go the right way. So I think with those instructions, and if he really moves quickly, he should be able to make it to catch his plane. Thanks for joining us, guys. We're going to have more directions for you tomorrow. I don't know where we'll be getting lost in tomorrow, but please do find your way back here to join us for that. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Brandon is getting help from an airport worker.
Sorry to bother you. I'm a little lost. Can you help me?
What do you need?
I'm looking for gate 21, but I don't see it on any of the signs.
That's because gate 21 isn't in this terminal. It's in Terminal C.
What's the fastest way there? I don't want to miss my flight.
Go straight that way to the big round space.
The one with the little garden in the middle?
Right. Then stay to your right. You'll see a sign for Terminal C.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 gate 名词，登机门。Our flight is departing from gate 12. 我们的航班从12号登机门出发。Depart 指的就是出发。下一个单字 sign 名词，告示牌标志。The sign says no parking. 标志上写着禁止停车。下一个单字 flight 名词，班机航程。Our flight was delayed because of the typhoon. 我们的班机因为台风而延误了。最后一个单字 garden 名词，花园。Layla enjoys planting flowers in her garden. Layla 喜欢在花园里种花。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 sorry to bother you. 抱歉打扰你，这是一个口语用法。Sorry 是形容词，意思是感到抱歉的。Bother 指的是烦扰。我们来看看这个例句。Sorry to bother you. Could you help me with this? 抱歉打扰你，你能帮我一下吗？下一个文法 any of 加上名词，某人事物中的任何一个，大多用于否定句和疑问句。我们先来看看否定句的例句。I don't want any of those dresses. They're ugly. 那些洋装我一件都不想要，它们很丑。我们再来看看疑问句的例句。Have you seen any of these movies? 你看过这些电影中的任何一部吗？最后一个文法 That's because 加上主词加动词，那是因为怎么样？ Because 是一个从属连接词，后面要加完整的句子。我们来看看这个例句。We didn't go to the party. That's because it was cancelled. 我们没有去那场派对，那是因为派对取消了。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见，拜拜。
Hey, it's Kiwi on the street. I'm Kiki.
And I'm Winnie. Kiki, why are you as proud as a peacock today?
Oh, because I got a new haircut.
Oh, so that's why you're feeling very confident. Well, that just means that we should practice some similes.
Oh, it's time for fill in the phrase. It's time for fill in the phrase. We have 3 similes to do with animals, but we have 6 words.
Yes.
Okay, 6 vocabularies.
So
you guys have to put it properly, okay?
I think I will choose blind and dog.
Huh?
And no, I'm just kidding because my dog is blind, so I yeah. But I know the correct answer is blind.
Oh, you're just saying your dog is blind.
I'm joking.
Oh, okay. You scared your friends
As
there.
blind as a bat. I can't
Good job,
agree
good
with
job.
me anymore.
Oh, okay.
Busy.
But my dog is sick.
Oh,
My dog is sick.
My dog is
My
blind.
hand's sick. Oh no.
Oh, you will change to as blind and busy and sick as my dog.
Oh wow. Bro, high five.
How old is your dog?
Wow.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. Okay, well, let's see the last one.
As sick as a bee.
I will tell you, it's not 100%. So, what will you change?
Oh, I know. Busy as a bee.
Why?
Why?
Because I dreamed last night. I think this is the best answer.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2.
1. Happy New Year!
Wow.
Okay, so, guess what?
Correct. All correct.
100%.
All correct.
High five.
Oh, yeah.
High five.
All right, good job. Okay, so what did we learn today?
Let's fill in the phrases with today's similes. And a simile is when you compare one thing with another. Our first one is as busy as a bee. That means when you are working so hard, you have so much on your plate, you are doing so many things, just like a worker bee who is busy at a hive. Okay, our second simile is as sick as a dog. And that is when you're describing someone as really ill. They're sick like a dog. And you might be thinking, well, why is a dog so sick? It's because back then they used to think of dogs as carriers of diseases and illnesses. Then we have our final simile, which is as blind as a bat. That means you can't see anything. Your eyesight is really, really bad. And that comes from the fact that bats actually use echolocation to see things when it's really dark. That's all we have for today. KiWi later.